Shalom. I'm going to bring a lesson today that, the Sunday church and those not keeping the law, statutes, and commands are kind of stuck on in their disbelief or their unlearned belief. I'm going to talk about tithing today. And we're going to see through the scriptures what the tithe is or was, who was to give it, and what was it for. And we're also going to touch on, whether it was money, because, today the Sunday church was teaching us that the tithe was money, or was it money back then because they didn't have money back then, so they tithe, whatever they tithe. That was to replace money, because we have money today, they didn't have money back then. So I'm going to show you in the scriptures that even back then they had money. So we're going to see through the scriptures what the tithe was, who was it for, and what was it for. And we're going to pick this up. We're going to start off in Malachi 2 and verse 1. And it reads, "And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you." So we see right away that this commandment that I'm about to get into is for the priest, not the people. We're going to see even more. I'll read that again. Malachi 2 and 1. "And now, O ye priests, this commandment is for you." Okay, we see that. Now, let's go a little deeper, because we're going to go line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. Now, let's go all the way to Hebrews. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 7. I'm going to read one verse here. Hebrews chapter 7 and verse 5. It says, "And verily, they that are of the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithes of the people according to the law, that is, of their brethren, through they came out of the loins of Abraham." So we see here it says, "And verily they that are of the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priesthood, have a commandment to take tithes." So we see it's the priest, as we just read in Malachi 2:1. This commandment is for the priest. And we see here the priests are doing what the law said do. Okay, now let's go even further. Let's go back to Malachi. We're going to pick it up. This time chapter 3. Malachi chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 6. It says, "For I am Yahuwah, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob, or Jacob, are not consumed." Verse 7, "Even from the days of your fathers you are gone away from my ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, says Yahuwah of hosts. But you said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob the Most High? Yet you have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offering?" So we see here is a question asked. It says, will a man rob the Most High? It says, yet ye have robbed me. Now look at that word robbed. It's R-O-B-B-E-D. That means it has happened already. I mean, it's a past tense word. You have robbed me, which means you had already done it. Not you will rob me in the future, as some teach. No, this means rob it. You have already done it. It's a past tense word. Okay? Now let's go to Malachi. We're going to stay in Malachi again. Malachi 1 and 6. If we break this down even further, Malachi 1 and 6. It says, "A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. If then I be a father, where is my honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? saith Yahuwah of hosts, unto you, here we go again, O priest, that despise my name. And ye say, wherein have we despised your name? Verse 7. You offer polluted bread upon my altar, and you say, wherein have we polluted thee? And that you say, the table of the Most High is contemptible. Verse 8. And if you offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if you offer the lame and sick, is it not evil? Offer it unto your governor. Will he be pleased with you, or accept you, person? Says the Most High of hosts. So we see here, they robbed the Most High in their tithes and offering by offering up lame animals and unclean, things. Polluted bread, it says here, and, lame and sick animals. So you're supposed to give the Most High your best, your firstling. So they were offering up, the last of it, as what happened to Cain. Cain didn't give his best. So we see here that you're supposed to give the Most High your best as far as your cattle, your agriculture, your first fruits. Okay, now let's go to Malachi 3:10. Where it says, we just seen here. Okay, let's go here. Malachi 3:10. It says, bring you all the tithes into the storehouse. Notice it don't say temple or synagogue or tabernacle. It says storehouse. That's a place where meat and food can be stored. I'll read it again. Bring you all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat, M-E-A-T, in my house. And prove me now herewith, says Yahuwah of hosts, I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. So we see here, it says meat. Now I'm going to back that up. I'm going to show you what the meat was as we go line upon line, precept upon precept. Let's go see what this meat was. It says that there shall be meat in my house. Let's see what this meat is. Let's go to Genesis 1. And we're going to read verse 29. Genesis 1 and 29. It says, Genesis 1, verse 29, and the Most High said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. You see that? Every herb that a tree brings that has seed is meat. Verse 30. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to every thing that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. So we see here that he gave meat and herbs to be meat for us. Okay, now let's go back to Malachi 3:10, because it's a lot of, you can get a lot of precepts like this one. Malachi, let's go back to Malachi 3:10. Malachi 3:10. It says, bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat. We just explained what that meat was in my house. And prove me. Now herewith says the Most High of hosts, if I would not open you the windows of heaven. Now let's see what this windows of heaven is. We're going to see what the windows of heaven is. And that's in, let's go to Genesis 7. We're going to see what the windows of heaven is. Genesis 7. Line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. Genesis 7. And I'm going to start this. Genesis 7 and 11. We're going to read verse 11 and 12. Genesis 7 and 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the second month, on the 17th day of the month, The same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And watch this, verse 12. And the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. So when that verse is saying, I will open up the windows of heaven, that means he's going to make it rain. Rain on your crops that they can grow. The beginning and the latter. Rain in the beginning and rain in the end, that your crops will grow. So we see here that these pastors, I can just stop here and show you and prove to you, well, I just proved to you through these little scriptures that your pastor has been and is lying to you about tithing. But let's go on. Now let's see. We're going to see what the tithe is. Was it money? Let's see. Let's go to Deuteronomy. You know, these lessons are for the unlearned. And I hope you get some understanding in this and go back and ask your pastor these questions, you know, what you see in this lesson. Deuteronomy 14 and verse 22. It says, Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed. Watch this. That the field brings forth year by year. So that proves it ain't money. So let's go on. Let's go to Deuteronomy 12. And we're going to read verse 6 and 7. Let's go back a few. Deuteronomy 12 and verse 6 and 7. It says, And thither ye shall bring your burnt offerings, and your sacrifices, and your tithes, and heave offerings of your hand, and your vows, and your freewill offerings, and the firstlings of your herds, and of your flocks. And there ye shall eat before the Most High, your power. See, it says here, you should eat. Can you eat money? You cannot eat money, people. This is not money. Okay, let's go to Deuteronomy 26 and verse 12. I mean, this is all over the book. I mean, all you gotta do is read it, people. 26 and 12. Deuteronomy chapter 26 and verse 12. When thou hast made an end of tithing, all the tithes of thy increase the third year, which is the year of tithing, and hast given it unto the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, the widow, that they may do what? Eat within thy gates and be filled. So we see here, you can't bring money and people be filled. You have to bring food. This is food, crops, agriculture, cattle, things of that sort. So we see here that this is not money again. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 27. Leviticus chapter 27, we're going to start at verse 30. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the trees, is the Most High's. It is holy unto the Most High. And if a man will at all redeem aught of his tithe, he shall add thereto the fifth part thereof. Verse 32. And concerning the tithe of the herd, or of the flock, even of whatsoever passeth under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Most High. He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and the change thereof shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. Verse 34. These are the commandments which the Most High commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. Now verse 33, I'm going to back up. It says, He shall not search whether it be good or bad, neither shall it change it. What that is saying is that we know that, I just showed you in the book of Malachi, that the priests were bringing unclean and, lame animals. So this is saying, do not search it. I mean, give me your first. Don't look at the first one, look at this one and say, okay, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to look at that one. No, I'm going to give you this one. This one look good. Give him the first. Don't search it and change it and be changing and altering your gifts. That's what that means. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to give you some examples of tithing in the scripture and see what they are and see do it line up so far to what the book is saying. Let's go to Luke 11. Luke 11 and 42. Luke 11:42. Now this is the Messiah speaking right here. It says, "But woe unto you, Pharisees, for you tithe mint and rue and all manner of herbs, and pass over judgment, and the love of the Most High. These ought ye have done, and not leave the other undone." So right here we're saying that the Pharisees, they tithe too, but was it money? No, it says mint, rue, and all manner of herbs. Okay, let's go on to another one. Let's go to Matthew 23. Matthew 23 and verse 23. Here again, it's the Messiah speaking. "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought you to have done, and not leave the other undone." So we see again that they were tithing mint, anise, and cumin. Don't save money. Okay? So let's get some more examples. Let's go to 2 Chronicles. Just showing a few accounts of, people tithing. 2 Chronicles chapter 31 and verse 5. "And as soon as the commandment came abroad, the children of Israel brought in abundance the first fruits of corn, wine, and oil, and honey, and of all the increase of the field. And the tithe of all things brought they in abundantly." Verse 6. "And concerning the children of Israel and Judah that dwelt in the cities of Judah, they also brought in the tithe of oxen and sheep, and the tithe of holy things which were consecrated unto the Most High their power, and laid them by heaps." So we see here, showing more examples of what was tithing. Okay, now let's go to Nehemiah. I'll give you an example in Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 10 and verse 34. Let me see, do I want to start there? Let me see. Yeah, 34 through 39. The book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, verse 34. And it reads, "And we cast the lots among the priests," that word again, priest, "the Levites, and the people for the wood offering to bring it into the house of our power, after the houses of our fathers, at times appointed year by year, to burn upon the altar of the Most High our power, as it is written in the law." It was written. Verse 35, "And to bring the first fruits of our ground, and the first fruits of all fruit of all trees year by year unto the house of the Most High. Also the firstborn of our sons and of our cattle, as it is written in the law, and the firstlings of our herds and of our flocks to bring into the house of the Most High, unto the priests that minister in the house of our power." Verse 37, "And that we should bring the first fruits of our dough and our offerings and the fruit of all manner of trees, of wine and of oil, unto the priest, to the chambers of the house of our power, and the tithes of our ground. See, let me read that again. And the tithes of our ground unto the Levites, that the same Levites might have the tithes in all the cities of our tillage. Read that again. The Levites, that the same Levites might have tithes in all the cities of our tillage, which means every city that they till the ground, or that they plow, or that they farm, the Levite will have a tenth of all that come up. Showing again that this is not money. Verse 38. And the priest, the son of Aaron, shall be with the Levites when the Levites take tithes, and the Levites shall bring up the tithes of the tithes unto the house of our power, to the chambers, into the treasure house. Verse 39. For the children of Israel and the children of Levi shall bring the offering of the corn, of the new wine, and the oil unto the chambers, where are the vessels of the sanctuary, and the priests that minister, and the porters, and the singers, and we will not forsake the house of our power. So he's saying they're going to follow these laws. They know what to bring. They know not to give money to tithing. First of all, whenever they went into the synagogue in the Most High's house, it was a Sabbath, so you cannot exchange money on the Sabbath first and foremost. That's rule number one. But see, they kept the law. They brought the agriculture. Okay, now let's go back. Now we already did that one to prove that. Let me see here. I think I'm gonna be done with this. That's about all I need to add for right now. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's kill something else while I'm here. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 14. And we're going to kill something while I'm doing this. Deuteronomy chapter 14, we're going to pick up at verse 23. Because now there's a saying that, like I said earlier, that, well, they didn't have money back then. So let's see what the money was. Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 23. And thou shalt eat before the Most High thy power in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithes of the corn, of the wine, and of thy oil, and the firstlings of thy herds and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Most High thy power always. Verse 24. And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, which means carry all your flocks and all your foods and stuff, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Most High thy power shall choose to set his name there, when the Most High thy power has blessed thee, then shalt thou turn it into money, and bind up the money in thy hand, and shalt go unto the place which the Most High thy power shall choose. And thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen, for sheep, for wine, or for strong drink, or for whatsoever thy soul desires, and thou shalt eat there before the Most High thy power, and thou shalt rejoice, you and thy household. So that's just one script I'm going to leave right there that shows that, you can trade in your things for money. With that, I say shalom and peace.